Hi there, my name is Tatiana and you're watching YouTube channel You Can. Today is April 11 and I'm located in Central Pennsylvania Zone 6B. So today's video is about pruning black raspberry canes in the spring. And I'll go step by step through what needs to be done. Ideally, I should have pruned these before the leaves started coming out. You can see there's nice green leaves sprouting. So ideally, this should have been done before they sprouted, but gardening is a very forgiving art. And if you don't get to it in the most ideal time, you can still do it later and it's going to be okay. So that's why I love gardening. And as you may have noticed, I have a little helper with me today. We were going to do the video while he was napping, but of course, kids know best. They know when mama's gonna be busy, so he woke up early. So I want to bring your attention to the root. So I'm going to be looking at this bunch right here. We can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 canes. And if you look at the bottom part, they all look really good. But if you follow this cane, for example, up here, you can see that at the top, so the top part is dead, which this is okay, but it only has 2 side shoots and it looks very flimsy. The side shoots have been kind of damaged by the frost on the tips, and it looks weaker than the other. Like for example, this cane right here. This cane is very robust and very healthy, and there's lots of side shoots and they look very juicy and healthy. So I am going to leave this cane. I will cut this one out and the other one that looks kind of weak. So you want to have gloves for this part because the canes are sharp and some of those thorns tend to stick into the hands. So I will cut right here at the base. And we can take a look at this cane. You see how it's very weak. There's only 2 and it's been kind of goofied up by the frost. Also, this one right here is not in a very good condition. So I will cut that out. Now I am left with 4 canes and I will examine them, and I see that this one, so last year we had or the year before, we had the cicadas that come once every 17 years. And this cane would have been a brand new sprouted cane when the cicadas were around. And I can see right here, there's like this bulging area. Basically, this is the area where they laid their eggs. And the cane is kind of ill in this place. So if it starts to get loaded up with berries, it will just crack, it will pop. And the berries will never ripen. They'll become dry and not good tasting, but it will have taken up the energy from the root of the plant to grow to the point where it could bear fruit. So I will cut this cane out as well because it is damaged. So now I'm left with 3 canes, and the 3 of them look really good and healthy. So we'll go to pruning the top. That is the reason why I do not cut out the canes and leave only 3 canes or 2 canes per bunch in the fall, because you never really know what's going to happen with them through the winter and what kind of frost damage they're going to sustain and maybe insect damage. So it's good to do this kind of pruning in the spring when you can see what's actually happening. So if you remember from last year's video in the summer when I was picking the berries actually get produced on these canes. If I were to leave this cane as long as it is and just basically cut off the dead part, which is right here, this whole cane would produce fruit. But the problem with leaving such a long cane is that the berries will be much smaller. It will be loaded, but they will be much smaller, and you'll pick a lot more, but in the end the volume of berries is going to be pretty much the same as if you left a smaller offshoot and let the berries get really big and juicy. So I like to leave canes about the length of from my middle finger to the thumb, maybe a little bit, just a hair more, that much. That's a good size for an abundant crop and for good juicy big berries. Also, it's not too heavy on the trellis then as well, and it's easier to pick, just overall a lot better. So I'll go through and I will prune all of these to about that length. I will cut off, this is dead, so I'll cut this off. Cut this one here, cut this one here. The top is frost damaged, so I'll cut that as well. Okay, so this cane is all set. The only thing I need to do now is to tie it to the trellis. So to tie the canes to the trellis, my husband, aka cameraman, aka video editor, aka the person who does half of the other things in the yard, got this very nifty tool. We'll have a link to where you can get it in the description. But basically, I press it just a little bit, and it grabs the ribbon, and then I take the ribbon and pull it over and around, and then voila, magic. So it's important to tie the canes to a trellis for a couple reasons. One, if the wind really throws them around, the cane actually uses a lot of energy to kind of stay stable, and it will try to you know, the roots are going to get disturbed by the cane shaking around a lot with the wind. That's one reason. And then the other one is, once it gets loaded up with berries, it will fall to the ground from the weight, and then your berries will be dirty, or you will miss them because you won't be able to see where they are. So tying them to the trellis is very beneficial. All right, so I'll go through and get all these cut and tied to the trellis, and I'll show you how it looks after my hat flies off. After they're all tied up. So there you got it. Everything's done and ready to roll for the summer. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.